What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new live stream. I'm Eli from TreeFall Studios, just setting up here. Let me know if the audio sounds all right. I'm actually working with a completely different setup than I used to do in the past, so now I'll be looking this way in order to check out the chat, and then I have to look at this way to see the camera and my work computer. The way that I have the screen splits kind of like an angle situation now, and the microphone's over here. So I need to make sure that the microphone is close enough. If not, I can move it. Let me know how the audio sounds. I do not have any music playing yet. I want to make sure that my voice is coming through, and then I might throw on some background stream songs. Let's see. Whoa, Ben Josh, welcome to the stream. Good to see you, man. Sounds good. Just a bit low volume-wise for the mic. I was afraid of that. Give me a second and let me see. I think I need to move it closer. It is kind of far away the way that I have my angle set up. I was afraid that it might be no good. I might have to put it in front of the keyboard. Does that sound better? Is that coming through clear? Yes or no? Because I already have it turned all the way up without having to change some of the settings. Let's see. Test. Let me know if that sounds better. Otherwise, I'm coming in crisp. Volume is good. All right, well, I think I'll go with that. Maybe I'll try to talk a little bit louder, I guess. Let's make sure that the camera is the right height because I've changed everything. Yeah, I think that looks good. And ignore, just got some fill lights to make sure it's not too dark in here, but I don't have any colors going or anything like that. But guys, it has been a long time. So I was just hanging out earlier today. I was doing my work. I was working on a level, which we're about to jump in. I'm about to show it to you guys for the first time. And my buddy Matthew from Soul Engine Studio, he was actually on my podcast video, I don't know, probably 6 months ago at this point now. I don't know how long. I just saw he went live streaming, so I watched his stream earlier today, and I was like, you know what? How long has it been since I've streamed? And I went to my channel. Let me look over here. Dude, it's pretty insane. I felt like I was streaming more often, and I think I counted I only had 4 streams in 2024. And I think all of them were not game development streams. Let's look. They were, yeah, Game Awards, State of Play, a launch day stream, and I think that was it. Maybe one. I'm not sure if that one was in. Yeah, I think that there's maybe one level design stream. So I was like, dude, that's crazy. And I looked because like 2023 was the year that I was streaming like basically every day of the week, and then I was doing like 3 times a week and when we got the dog. So then I realized, guys, I haven't been streaming in a long time. So to fix that, I decided, you know what? Maybe I'll try a chill stream tonight and see where we are. Checking it out how it looks on the phone. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, okay. Cool. All right, so we can get going. I've got some work on the slate tonight to show you guys some new stuff. And as people roll in, I will just tell you guys what I've been up to and what the game design plans are basically. So let me go over here and switch some of this stuff. I'm gonna have to, you know what? Let me see if I can do something here. Okay, I think I've actually got a setup. Well, you know what this is. Can I move this? Maybe. All right. Okay, I think I've got it going. Let me move this. And let's see. How does that look? Okay, cool. Alrighty, so I think we're up and running and ready to go. So for everyone watching in the future, if you are just checking out the stream later or now, just to give you guys an update, I announced recently in my most recent video that we're going to be doing a different type of roadmap for the year. Instead of finishing up these really long games that are really far away, I've got some quick games that I want to get out, some like prologue-esque games, some very small games. So over the next couple of months, we're going to have a few different games drop in order to introduce people to different TreeFall Studios franchises and try to get in some revenue to, fund the studio long enough to complete some of these larger games that will maybe come out towards the fall. And one of the first games that I'm going to be releasing is a game called Maze Interim Odyssey, which I announced in that kind of candid chatting video. The game, it was called the game roadmap, I think, 2025 roadmap. And so yeah, I've been working on this game, and it's basically like the prologue to Maze Rising Trials, which I added a couple levels to that game, and that game is basically like really big, and there's a lot of polish and some stuff that I want to do to that game. So pretty much I decided that it was going to take too long to finish that and some of the other big projects I was working on. So I decided to make some very small projects in order to fund those larger projects. It's pretty much, it's not like a revolutionary concept or anything. It's pretty much what Sony and everyone is doing with all these, quick flip remasters that they're doing to fund big new projects, except for I'm not doing a remaster. I'm just doing a really small project. So you can see here we are in Blender. Let me get Unity going. Let's hide that. So you can see I'm going to show off some levels. So basically what this is a maze project that is going to be introducing people to the maze franchise, and it's going to be getting people ready to play Maze Rising Trials. Story wise, I'm just going to stick this in between Pedestal of Trials and Rising Trials, and it's basically going to be like almost a tutorial game, a like introduction to the maze puzzle series, because the puzzles are going to be getting more complex with Rising Trials and this game actually. So this game is going to kind of tee off that, where you're not just walking through the hallways and just trying to find your way out, which every level in itself is a puzzle. It is a puzzle. But now there's going to be more things like Maze Pedestal of Trials had, where there was like keys and locks and doors, and you've got to figure puzzles out in order to also get through the giant level puzzle itself. So we're starting here in a desert level, and obviously the graphics and stuff, they're not done yet. Let me just let's hide the game view so you guys can see more of the scene view. Pull this down some. We'll scoot this over some. Scoot this over some. Pull the inspector out. And I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup here. But so you guys can see, actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and jump in to what we've got. Obviously, like I said, the graphics are not finalized. We've got like partial lighting and stuff from a different level, and we've got the incorrect sky, obviously. Wow, I actually changed something in my... Shoot. You know what? I'm gonna have to fix that later because I'm gonna have to dig through my files. But I just deleted something. I was just saying we're gonna go through and clean out. I was deleting some I was deleting some files, guys, to clean out this project in order to make it more efficient, and so I didn't have to go through so much clutter. And yeah, I accidentally deleted the particle effect on the coin, apparently. You know what? Let me do, because I'm like now seeing an odd particle line effect. I actually think that I could probably fix it real quick. I think I realized what that is. I just need to go to my recycle bin. Should have been a coin. Let's see, cloud spin normal. Individual walls, grass blades I deleted. Old levels that are not in this game deleted. Coin. I wonder... Huh. I'm not seeing it off the top. I'm seeing the old coin FBX. But I don't know why a model would break my particle system. I think I deleted the prefab for the old coin. And that must have had the the original particle system in it, I guess. That also doesn't really make any sense. Well, I guess maybe it does. Huh. Particle for a launcher. No. No. All right, well, I guess I'll find it later, and you guys will have to ignore the ugly coins. Also, it doesn't even really matter. The coins are not where they're supposed to be. They're floating all in the air. I just dragged them out. I haven't placed them in the level per se to where they go. All right, well, oh well. You have to ignore the coin particle. I'll probably make a new one, to be honest, anyways. Because the theme of this is I am going to make new stuff. So right here, we're going to be making the next one together. This is the new start sign. Let me know what you guys think about this. So if you know the old one, it was just a 2D image that said start and it just spun around. Now it's fully in 3D and it's got like this loopy animation where like the letters bounce slowly up and then down, and then it spins around in one direction and then it goes up and then down and then it spins back around in the other direction. And you can see, it is fully 3D. It's just white like the other one was, and it's pretty easy to read, but when you look at it from the side, it's kind of blurry. So honestly, I might change that where it has like a black outline, kind of like when you stroke the text. We'll see. I don't know. I think it looks all right, I guess. And this is tentatively what we're going to be using for this game. And I like the motion. You don't worry about the speed so much right now. If you think it looks too slow, let me know. I'm thinking about just looking at it now. I'm thinking like, oh, I might speed that up so it's kind of like bounce, bounce, spin, spin. However, I started it this slow because if it's much faster, then it's actually kind of hard to read, I guess. Even though you don't really need to read it, it just shows the start of the level. Um, I don't know, a little bit of a tangent there. So, anyways, this level is actually, I kind of scaled this incorrect, but I think that I'm going to keep it just because it's like very towering. You can see this is a new brick texture here. I think it looks pretty good. The sand, I'm not so hot on it yet. The bump map looks pretty good. I mean, when you look at it from far away without the lighting hitting it, it looks a little flat. But I'll show you guys over here. And then I made this texture. I made this one in Quixel Mixer, which is basically on its way out. No one, Epic Games isn't really supporting it anymore, so I use like the old version. And I made this texture where I kind of changed this ornate tile texture, and kind of you see how there's like the dirt overlay on it, so it looks like all rough and bumpy, and like the dirt from outside is kind of like spread out on this and kind of made the tiles a little bit more yellow than they were originally. You can see I made these 3D models, these piles of dirt. And so I'm placing these all around in order to just, give the ground some more texture. So you can see you got this tile floor, and then we got these piles of dirt here. And, they're not just like fake, they're like actually collider driven. So, you bump over them and it changes the height and stuff. So I'm basically going to put these all over the floor out here, so it's not so flat. And I think that possibly after I'm done doing that, this dirt won't look so bad once we redo the lighting and such with the new sand. However, if I spend all that time working on that and it doesn't look good, then I'm going to scratch it and find a new texture. And then we got the tile floor again in these hallways. And you can see we've got the fog is a little too heavy. I was just playing with the values in order to try to make sure some of my post-processing was working. I'm probably going to change this fog as well. So you can kind of ignore the graphics for now. This level is more about, that's going to come in last. This level is more about the actual puzzle itself. So I'm going to show you guys the puzzle, and you can see this is big open room here. And this is actually going to be locked behind a door. And this is basically the end of the level. And you can see we've got some cool stuff going on here that's, not like other maze games. We've got some towers that have fallen and broken off, and you can see it's like in this pile of dirt. And I've actually changed the character controller to let you walk up really steep paths so that you can, get up here and jump. And, so this level doesn't really make sense to have moving elevators. I could do it if I wanted to, I guess, but I thought it looked cooler if we had broken towers like this, like climbing up to the top of this pyramid type of level. So you can see I'll just go up to the top, and this is where we're going to be putting the finish sign. Is going to be way up here, and you can see we got our ornate tile floor with the dirt on it up here as well. And I really like the brick. See, I already textured this. I've got all the textures tiling the right way, so you can see like the brick goes around the corner correctly and stuff. And then I'm going to change this. I don't like how this looks. I'm going to put like either some dirt or another broken pillar to have this laying on. Yeah, and it's a little hard to get the jump right on there. And then the finish sign is going to be up in this corner. I got to fix this tile, obviously. No one would probably even notice that, to be honest. But even like the fact that the tiles aren't just like perfectly tiling here, like, we're going to fix that. We can do that in a second. And then you can see it's pretty cool. You can jump and just jump all the way down. And this gives you a top view of the maze itself. So basically, the idea of this maze is there is a locked door to get up to this giant tower that you're going to have to climb. And then, I'm going to hide coins around up here, and I'm probably going to pull some maze walls out, up here, so it's not just completely flat. So there's a little bit more to do upstairs, but not too much, because the basic puzzle is that you're going to need to unlock this door. And there's basically 4 sections of the maze. I'll show you here, actually, since we have it in the engine. It's not on the build. And just to give you guys an idea, so there's like 4 rooms here that are going to be built out. Room 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you have to use these hallways, because obviously this will be shut off. You have to use the hallways to get around to the other sides. And basically there's going to be a puzzle mechanic that is going to unlock the door. And in each of the 4 corners of the maze, there's going to be a hint. And then you're going to have to look at all these hints and then come back to the door and then figure out what you have to do in order to unlock the door. So that's kind of an example of what we're looking at here for the puzzles getting more complex. So not only could you go around the wrong way and get lost here, or get lost in one of these hallways, for instance, or get turned around in these hallways, you're going to have to find your hints, remember all 4 hints. This is going to be going back to gameplay, sort of like the old days where you have your little pen and paper and write down, okay, like left corner I saw this hint, right corner I saw this hint, and then so you don't forget them all. Because if you don't write them down and you think you're going to remember which one was which, and then you go to solve the puzzle door and you can't remember, well, now you're going to have to walk back through the whole maze to go back to find your hints. So it'll be a good idea to write it down. So that gives you an idea of what we're looking at for, more complex puzzles within puzzles. And that's kind of going to be what this game is going to showcase in a very small sense. And then you're going to see more of it in Maze Rising Trials, which, we did a bunch of development live. Those videos should all be up on my channel. You can go look at them all from 2023 to see some of those puzzles we were creating there. And I think that people are going to really enjoy it. It's really taking the Maze Pedestal of Trials formula to a whole new level. So, like I said, I am making different things, like the start signs new and the coins new, and all these textures are new and the lighting is new. Obviously, the levels are new. So it's like a completely new game. I'm just basically reusing my base code of like the character controller and stuff at this point, because we're redoing virtually everything. Gonna reuse the checkpoint system. That'll save a little bit of time. But I figured I got these busy work tasks to put together these new features. So we're gonna go ahead, and now that you've seen a little bit of the level and what we're doing, we're gonna go ahead and make our new finish sign. So this is the start sign that I just created, made this text in Blender 3D, and then we just put it into Unity, and I hand animated it in Unity, and I would be able to reuse the animation for this. However, it's not the same amount of letters. I was really upset. This is 5 letters, finish is 6 letters, I believe. Oh, excuse me, guys. It's starting to hit me already. I thought an evening stream would be a good idea. However, got a yawn or two in there. Um, so we are going to make the finish text together, and I'm going to show you guys how I did it. This is not like a crazy technique or anything. Yo, Space by Name, welcome to the stream. Haven't seen you in a while, man. I hope you're doing great. But yeah, this isn't a crazy technique or anything. But if you guys are unfamiliar with text in Blender, I guess you should find this interesting. Okay, so I gotta redo these fonts here. So I don't understand why Blender does this. This is interesting. So you can build text, and you can change the font, and it will build a text object based on the font you choose. And you're only given Blender font, but if you press the I don't know if it's because I've done it before or what. If you press the folder to look for more fonts, it automatically goes to the Windows font folder. So I don't know why the Windows fonts are just not included already. Yeah, I don't really know about that. So I use the official Maze font is Ibrima. This one. That's the font that I use for my base to edit. It looks a little different when it's on the logos and stuff, because I use bold, and then I extrude the font basically using some outlines and stuff, and then build the mazes on the inside. But for like the basic text, we're going to use that for like the start and finish sign. So we want to put the bold in. We want to switch we want to back that out, switch it to bold, and then we're going to type the word finish in. So this looks basically like the finish sign from the 2D text. And we are going to be making this 3D. So I believe that is right here, extrude. So I'm going to do 0.05, and this is the extrude value that I'm going to do. That's what I used for the start sign. And then, so you might think, all right, so what do we got to do from here to get this to work? What we do is we go to object, and you can actually convert this text object into a mesh. So it kind of creates a bit of a problem. So we're going to go in here and clean some of this up. So it's not like overloading for the game. Honestly, this is the PS4 and the PS5 we're talking about. So like that amount of polygons, when I'm relatively cautious on everything else, it's honestly fine. But just in case I have like way too many meshes I decide to add in, I'm going to clean it up and make it a little easier on the system by deleting some faces and such. I also go, so what we need to do is we need to change the origin to the center. And then what I'm going to do is center this so the mesh is centered on our front view. I need to move my microphone cord. It's kind of getting in the way. Let's see. Can you guys still hear that? Let me know. Make sure the audio has not changed any. All right, so what we've got is our finish. Now we've got a 3D mesh, and it's centered, and it's ready to go, and it's actually a mesh. And what I'm going to do is just highlight it all and just do a limited dissolve. And basically that keeps our shape and deletes everything. And I want to make sure it doesn't look really bad. I had to do some hand editing on the start because when I did limited dissolve, it cut too many things and then was odd shading. So then now we're good to go. Now all we have to do is we want to go to our, I guess this is, I call this X-ray view, I guess. It's see-through. And what we're going to do is we're going to be separating each one of these. And then I'm going to be clicking off and grabbing each one, and basically I'm going to be separating each mesh. It's easier for me to hand. I don't know if this is the best way to do it. Don't look at my game dev process as the only way to do something. But I should be able to show you guys easy ways to do things. I feel like the stuff that I've come up with is pretty easy. Yeah, so anyways, I'm separating these meshes I'm separating each letter into a sub mesh, basically, in order to hand animate them all one by one in Unity, and it'll be easier that way. All right, so now it's all separated and the polygons are cleaned up and it's ready to go. So we're just going to export it, and I'm going to put it in my FPX folder. And yeah, should be right to go here. Let's go ahead and import this. I don't know why it does that. Models, FBX. I was like, please. I was like, please let me know I renamed it finish sign. I was like, I hope I didn't overwrite the start sign. And let's go ahead and pull it here, and let's give it this white material start sign. Oh, let's give it to all of them. There we go. All right, now it's got its tentative material. Don't know if it's gonna stay that way. And let's get the other finish sign. That's one finish sign, so you can see the comparison before I delete it. I'm actually not going to delete this one because this actually has a trigger volume to complete the level. So what we're going to need to do is make our new finish sign and then replace it in this prefab to get rid of the old one. But yeah, so what we can do is I'll run the level so you guys can see it. We're basically doing bits and pieces work. So this is the old sign. It just went back and forth and just looped around. Here's going to be our new sign, basically. And we're going to hand animate it to do the same thing as the start. Although I was considering coming up with a new animation just for the finish. So we could kind of do something special. However, I don't think I'm going to do that in this case. I'll probably do that for Maze Rising Trials. I'm going to change both of those and make them different than this, probably. But the whole point, as I was mentioning at the top of the stream, is that this is supposed to be a small project, so I'm changing everything and making it new and trying to make it better or more appealing to players. But at the same time, we can't spend forever doing this. So, what did I just do with that? Okay, let's call this finish sign old for now. We're not going to delete it. We just want to get it out of the way. And then I want to rename this to just the finish sign. That way, when we go to our animator here and click on create and I type in finish sign, we're not going to be having anything weird. It won't say finish sign 1 or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I created animation on the parent object, and I'm going to animate each child object one by one. And that's basically how we're going to be handling this Unity hand animation. It's not exactly the most efficient way to do this, and that's because we're going to be running an animator component, which is heavier than an animation component. But it doesn't matter because, like I said, the hardware can handle it, and we're not animating hundreds of things in this scene. It's just a couple of coins and the finish and start signs, so it's fine, and it's easier to do it this way, so that's how we're going to be doing it. That's just some information for game developers out there in case you're wanting to be the most efficient you can be, which almost no one is anymore. But you could do a custom animation in Blender for this, save the animation file, and import that animation, do the animation component instead of animator component, and just fire it off via code. But we're going to do it this way, and I'm going to show you how it's done. Harmonica Jacob says, hi. How are you this evening? Welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. Just working on a maze level. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hand animate this. And basically, you know what? I said I was going to do the exact same thing as the start sign. However, I think that I'm going to do it the exact same, so I already have the values worked out. However, I think I'm going to be doing it in reverse. Let's try to do it in reverse. That way, that if you can see the finish and the start sign on the screen at the same time. So let's say the player gets to the top of this maze and you can see the finish sign and you look all the way down. You think it's cool to look at the whole level and see how far you've come. And you see the start sign. You don't want to see them exactly animating at the exact same time. We're going to do this in reverse. So for the finish sign, we're going to spin it first, and then we're going to bounce it, and then spin and then bounce. So all we need to do is do the parent object, and we're going to do a negative 360 first. So what that's going to do is completely spin us around in the negative direction. I guess the way when you're standing there looking at the object, I feel naturally it's better to go turning towards the right instead of the left. So that's why we're starting with that first. And then let's take a look here. I want to just double check. So I start off immediately at flat. Okay, I got it. Yeah, you can see that these were hand keyed animations. Can you guys see that? Let's see if I move my camera. Let's see. Let's move it up a little bit. I find this so fascinating. I did this by hand to do this start animation. You can see it's like this little bounce, spin thing. And it looks like RR in the dope sheet. No idea how it looks like that. It looks like you could just copy it from like some text and put it there. And yeah, that's just a little tidbit. So, well, I guess I'll leave the camera up here so you guys can see the whole animator in case you're interested in hand animating something yourself. So let's go back to finish sign and let's zoom out so we can see. And now we got to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, 150. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to text. Actually, hold on. So the way that this works, it's very odd because I should have done it backwards because I ran into this issue. Since we started with the F and then we did it like separating one by one, the base object, since I didn't rename them in Blender, the very last mesh, which is the H in this letter, in this word, is just text. I don't like that. It needs to be 0.006 so that I can actually see which ones I'm animating. And I can't like pull it down because it breaks a prefab unless I want to unbreak it. So I'm just renaming it in order to be able to click easier and see what I need to see. So I'm going up like this. And then I'm splitting these in like 30-second intervals. So then this one will be down, and then see that's why you gotta pay attention. And then this one will be up, and then we're gonna go another 30 seconds, and then now this one will be down, and then this one will be up, and then another 30 seconds, and we're gonna put this one back down, and we're gonna put this one up. Another 30 seconds, and this one down, and this one up. And then one more time, put this one down, and then now we gotta go up to the top to our first one, that one up, and then another 30 seconds, and then this one down. And this is where it's gonna start our spin again. So what we need to do is go back here. Okay, cool. We're actually correct. So what we need to do is do another. Yeah, it's going to be off 30 seconds compared to the other one because there's an additional letter. So I want to spin this back to 0. And I think we're going to need to come here. Yep. And keep this on 360. And let's take a look at this, guys, and let's see how this looks. So we have a complete spin. Okay, see, we're incorrect already. It kind of looks cool though. So what we need to do is go here. Yep. And we need to hit this, and let's just hit all of these. And the Y should be 0. Now I gotta think of what I've done incorrect here. I might have to copy the other one exactly. I want to say that the Z should also be 0. Is that how the start sign was? Oh no, it's because I did it incorrect. It does have a floating value based on position. Oh, so I never. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, I've messed up. That's why. I got it. So this. Wait a minute. Did I mess up? Let's see. Shoot. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to copy this position component. I will fix that here. Here we go. And we're going to paste this. Okay. So now we should have just a spin. Okay, that's correct. Yo, Playtunes off duty. Yo, yo, what's up, man? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. All right, so that should give us a complete spin. And then now we rise and fall with every letter. Okay, and then now we should spin back the other way and be correctly at 0. Okay, it's a little confusing because I'm animating the parent and the individual pieces at the same time via the same animation. Probably not the most efficient way to do this. It's easy to get confused what you needed to animate where. So now that was another spin. And now what we need is to repeat this section. So we can copy and paste this. No, we don't need to do that. We need to copy and paste these 30 seconds ahead, 30 frames ahead here. So and then now what we want to do is we want to go to the last frame and put this back to 0. So this is not rotating. Oh, we're going to have to change all these frames, I believe. And this should be 0. Oh, shoot. Created a new frame. All right, we need to put that one to 0. The rotating thing is very confusing. All right, this one. This one. And okay, I think we're good. All right, guys, it's starting to look good. Sorry, finish. Okay. And now we want is to get all of these. Oh, what happened to that component I copied? Back to here. See if I can copy this again. Position. This will be frame 450. Paste position. Okay, we got a double frame here. I'm not even sure what that's doing. Shouldn't be ending on 360, should be ending on 0. Must have missed this with that double. So this needs to be 0. Okay. I think we've got it, guys. So, let's take a look and then I'll catch the comments. So we have a spin to the right, and then the letters bounce. Now we have a spin to the left. Now the letters bounce. And we should be back at the start. So this should loop correctly. Let's take a look at this and smoothly. Let's take a look. Boom, boom, boom. The letter bounce is really slow. And the spin is kind of good. So I think we're going to go hand key these a little different. I think I'm going to zoom this in. But as you can see, what I was trying to go for is the finish and start signs are not going to be animating at the exact same time. However, it looks like they're kind of catching each other. I don't actually know how that's even possible, because I guess this one has less letters, so it's like it caught up and it was like getting on the same track, because the finish sign flips first and the start sign bounces first. So very interesting. Let's check out the comments. Playtune says, I noticed you're doing a live stream, so I decided to stop by and check out what you're doing. Yeah, just working on Maze Interim Odyssey. Right now, I'm showing some hand animations for our start and finish signs. And Artless Dev says, yo, welcome to the stream. Artless Dev, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here. So yeah, I think that let's get this out of the way first. Let's change the start since these are different. And it's gonna be a little annoying. So what we're gonna want to do is highlight basically everything, and I want to go to double the speed, and then we'll unclick this, and then we'll move it over another 15. Unclick this, move this over another 15.15, I guess. Uncheck this, move it over to 1. Uncheck this, 1.15. Let's see. Make sure I don't mess this up. 1.3. Uncheck this. Uncheck this. So we want to leave that spin the exact same. Yeah, so we want to move this over 0.15. We're not moving everything over, guys, just the bouncing parts. Let's move this over to 0.15. If this does not look good, then it's going to be a lot of Control Z here. We'll see. 0.15. This would be... Was that off anyways? Was that off a key or something? No, that's fine. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Here we go. Unclick that. 45. Unclick that. Careful. 5. All right. Now these are big R's. Let's check this out and let's see how this looks. All right. Much better already. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, there we go. So you can see we have a perfect endless loop left and right, up and down, just smooth, endless. Let's stare at this for a second, guys, and let me know on the stream comments if that is something that you could stare at for hours, listening to some TreeFall Studios melodious lofi beat soundtracks for Maze. I think that looks pretty good. So we'll do that for the finish sign to get it in line. And then yeah, I'm thinking that looks pretty good. Let me know if you agree with me or think I'm incorrect. Is this an upgrade or a downgrade for the old finish signs? Are you nostalgic for the basic 2D text that just spins? Would you rather it be this still, or are we liking the new signs that we're spending time trying to clean up? Let me know if you think this was all a waste of time and it doesn't really elevate the game at all. That is a valid opinion, I suppose. I think it looks a little bit better, so hopefully it was worth it. Let's go ahead and move the finish sign over here, and then let's just edit that real fast. Starting here. I think that's all the keyframes we need. And we'll just move these over. This shouldn't be too long, over 15. And then we'll move on to working on something cooler. That's 0.15. Unless you guys like this stuff. I mean, I find this pretty helpful because this hand animation stuff in Unity, setting keyframes, it could be used to achieve a lot of different effects for your guys' games. I use it all the time to basically, you know, fake the world being alive and stuff. Instead of, like, a lot of times things need to be accomplished, or they should be accomplished with using shaders for like wind on leaves and plants and stuff. But if you don't really know how to do that, I've faked it in the past just using hand keyed animation basically. All right, leave that one alone. But like I said, if you're going to be doing a lot of this type of animation, this is very complex on the it bottlenecks the system down, so you don't want to be doing it through the animator component like this. You want to have these done in Blender, and you want to use the Unity animation component instead. It will save you a little bit of overhead, that's for sure. Playtunes says an upgrade, so I'm with you. That's what I'm thinking. I'm glad that I'm not alone there. Sometimes I get a really cool idea on how to make something better for a game, and then I spend a lot of time doing it, and I'm like, I can't determine whether or not it was really worth it or if it's actually an upgrade. But let's take a look at this. I think that this looks a lot better, guys. Yeah, so you can see we got bouncing letters that animate. They spin left and they spin right. They bounce. It's going to spin right now, back and forth, constantly on a perfect flow loop. It's 3D. You can see it's part of the world. And this is the old one. It was just a flat text that just constantly went around. I feel like this kind of looks like better. It fits the world better. It feels like we're in a 3D maze. You know, we're not on the 2D maze anymore on paper. So let's get rid of that 2D text floating there, and let's make some pretty sweet 3D text. All right, so those are done. I'll finish that later where I hook it up to the actual prefab. You can see we've got a, let's see, where is it? We got a trigger thing here. This is my script where basically when you walk into the finish sign, it just checks to figure out if you have collected all the coins. And if you have collected all the coins, we exit the level, save your data, etc. If you haven't collected all the coins, then it just does nothing. So that's basically how that works. And let's just go ahead and hide this again. Oh shoot, I just hid the where did it go? Did I just lose that? Finish sign. Here's the new one. Where's the old one? Finish sign old. There we go. Let's just hide the whole thing, not just the trigger volume. There we go. Oh, in 3 R4 ZZ URR0 null. says 100% better. That's a username, all right, bro. But thank you. I'm glad you like it. And welcome to the stream. Haven't seen you chatting before, so welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, guys. So that's this level in a nutshell, and I can see there's a lot of people tuning in as we're going along. Um, but I mentioned earlier, in case you weren't here and missing it, this level is basically going to be housing a giant puzzle. There's going to be a big gate here, and the point is to go through all the edges of the mazes and write down notes at the hints, and then you're going to have to solve a puzzle door to bust into this courtyard, which is, obviously not complete. We got to put some more sand and such around like this, and some more objects and things, and then you'll make it your way up here, and then you can get to the top, and that's where the new finish sign is going to be. We can go ahead and drag this up, I guess, so you guys can see this is where it's going to be. It's going to go about here in this corner, over here-ish. Let's see if I can crack my back. Here we go. Let's just take a look at the level real quick so we can see the new sign and see how far we can see it. Can we see it up there? Yeah, so if we get in here... Oh yeah, we can see it bouncing and spinning, animating in 3D. That is really cool. Okay, we're working really cool. And guys, another thing about this game, we're gonna be doing a bunch of things to make this game better. I'll probably stream maybe later, maybe this weekend again. I think this is gonna be the only weekday stream I do this week. I might start working out the evening. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you're wanting to see more dev streams again or not. Because I might be able to work some into the evening work nights occasionally, but I do work slower on stream, so that's why I don't stream like I used to. But obviously we're getting work done, but it does slow down the project some. So there's a little bit of, I got to stream some because it's fun, one, and then, it lets you guys see the games. Devs watching can learn stuff, and then also, this is like helping marketing, so marketing each game, so it's worth doing even though it slows down the dev. But all that being said is we're making a lot of changes to this game, and this is going to be the budget priced game where, like, you're going to be getting a sleek package with new quality of life features, a new when I get this title screen done, it's going to be looking really, really awesome. And I think I'm pretty sure I'm set on like $1.99 for this game. Like, I really want this to be cheap, so everyone can buy it and play it. It's going to be really short. It's only 3 levels. It's going to be this level of the this is like the medium sized level. It's going to be an intro, like, tutorial level, and then there's going to be one really, really large level. So it's basically like easy, medium, and hard. This is not exactly too hard when it comes to the actual maze. It's not completely done yet. It's almost done, but like I said, there's actually a puzzle element to this, so it's going to be a little bit more complicated when we're all finished. So AZ Mist says, how do you make the textures for your games? So that just depends on what you're talking about. What textures we're looking at. Some of them I do them by hand in Affinity Photo. Some of them are actual photographs that I've either taken and then edited, or some of them come from, texture websites. For instance, like this this texture right here, this floor texture, the base of it came from a site called Polygon, which is, I have an affiliate link for them, but I've never really used it. It used to be in some of my videos. I don't think it works anymore. But it's basically a texture site that you can buy textures from and then use in your projects. But I usually don't like to just use a texture straight from, like a game dev resource, because basically everyone uses these sites now, like textures.com, Polygon. Polyhaven has some for free, but they're not as good. I usually edit those if I use some. but people use like textures.com, like Sony uses that for like Horizon and things like that. Like, everyone uses these texture databases. It's kind of like what's the epic one called? It's the oh shoot, it's the Bridge Quixel Mixer. It's the Megascans, that Megascans library. It's like, how everyone talks about how all the Unreal games look the same. It's because the lighting engine only does like one thing and everyone uses Megascans. So it's kind of like, you're just using all the same textures. So everyone's games looks the same. Usually, like for instance, if I'm using a texture, a realistic texture that's not my original photograph, I will edit it in some way to where it doesn't look like anyone else's. So for instance, like I use Quixel Mixer to change the colors of these tiles, and I made some sand, and you can see the bump map. It's kind of like there's dirt, grime, and sand on this tile here. So I changed it up a little bit, and then obviously, when you add lights and you make the lighting, it changes and looks different than how anyone else would have it. But yeah, so at least even if I'm using a texture resource, I basically will, customize it, to make sure it's like my own kind of thing. But most of the time, for instance, like let's go take a look at level 1. I hand drew all of level 1. So this level right here, yeah, like see, that's the only thing about this. I gotta change the grass because like I hand drew this grass, and like for a cartoon game, it looks all right. I think it looks pretty good actually. You can see the lighting here. I think this looks pretty good on these bricks. Like I drew these bricks, and put the dirt in there. I handmade this brick texture using Quixel Mixer, and that was the texturing program I used. But I started with a base color and then like created the bricks, and then overlaid some texture, and then I made some dirt, and then overlaid the dirt underneath it so that there would be dirt in between the bricks. And that's so it was like a multifaceted texture creation process for this one. But you can see that this level doesn't look exactly artistically aligned with the other level, just because the grass looks unrealistic. These bricks could be in a realistic environment. However, when we look at level 2, I would say that this looks like, we're looking at a little bit more realistic looking textures with the lighting and such, to where I'm probably going to need to redo that cartoon grass on the first level. But yeah, you can see here's the tutorial level. I don't want to spoil this one too much because, like I said, the game's only got 3 levels and you can kind of ruin it for you. But yeah, so this one is tiered. It has an upstairs. You can see around the corner up there. You got to figure out how to get there. There's only a couple of paths here. That way, that way, that way, around. And, it's pretty much the tutorial level. You guys can figure it out. The original thought of this level was to cover it in these flowers. You can see I made these little lilies. And I was going to have like 3 different types of flowers. And they were going to be like animating, like, blowing in the wind. And what I tried to do was write a shader to basically upgrade and elevate this game by using movable vegetation. And then, I was going to have the special puzzle for level 2 and like some sandstorms and dusts and stuff. But I was just not very satisfied with it didn't look very good. I'm not very good at writing shader code, and if for the game devs like following along, you have to use URP or HDRP. HDRP is like really way too heavy on the PlayStation 4 for me to really use it, and it's like it's kind of hardcore for me only needed to animate a leaf. Like that, if that's the only thing I need, I don't really need to switch to HDRP. So I tried URP, which is the Universal Render Pipeline, and I did not like the way it looked. I couldn't get screen space, ambient occlusion. The post-processing and color grading came across different, and I was trying to get this exact same look when I was building the lighting, and I just couldn't get it to look how I wanted it to look. And like I told you guys multiple times during this stream, the whole point of this project is it needs to be fast. So I just wrote that off. I realized like, okay, I'm going to try a different render pipeline when we finalize the graphics for Maze Rising Trials. I'm going to probably try some new graphical techniques to elevate the game so it like stands out some more. But for this game, it's going to take too much time. The whole point of this game is to be done and let you guys have a new game to play, get some revenue in for the studio so we can keep our doors open. So I made the business decision to go back to what I know, using the built-in render pipeline, which I can't write a custom shader unless I use like shader language code, which I don't know how to do. So I figured I would just put a couple of test flowers in here, and instead of having the entire floor covered with flowers, which I was going to have in the original design, I'm just going to maybe hand animate a couple of them. And even though the animation component is heavier on the system than if I were to write a shader for it, I'm just going to use some not ambient occlusion, occlusion culling, and basically not animate and hide the meshes around all these walls. So you'll only see a couple flowers animating at any one time, so we won't have any trouble running this on the PlayStation 4. And when you hear me say having any trouble running on PlayStation 4, and you think about the PS4 games that are out there, the PS4 is old, but it's still super powerful if you look at some of the games PlayStation made. But the Unity engine is not exactly the most optimized when you're going to PS4 or PS5. So you want to be as most optimized in the engine as you can. I don't know how many people are watching. Says we got 9 viewers or something like that. I don't know if any of my dev friends are out there. I know Space My Name was working on an engine. If I can stay in business over the next couple of years, some of the new employees that I'm going to hire, I really think I'm going to head towards the direction of doing my own engine, and maybe getting some tools engineers and working on some stuff like that in the future. Because there's just certain things that you can and can't do using these middleware engines, basically on the hardware platforms. And I basically want to just get an engine where I can just basically do a PC port, basically, and have my PlayStation ports, and just ignore everything else, and kind of have a custom engine. If you guys could see the game that I'm working on in Unity, the Pitter Pot project I've got going right now that I have not shown off, it's absolutely amazing, and you guys are going to be shocked that it's in Unity, because it's like I'm trying to make it look like an old school game, like a PlayStation 1 game, and I'm getting close to that PlayStation 1 effect without having the jittering and the low res. Just the models and the textures themselves and the lighting is what I'm working on. So I basically want to build a engine that does modern and like retro styled graphics in a render pipeline really easy. Yeah, that's a ramble for another day. So this is the first level, and you can see, you got different places to go. Very, very simple. And here's a giant overview of it. It's got some fog. Here's some stairs. It's got, some little corners here. That kind of spoils it for you, but you won't remember by the time the game comes out, will you guys? All right, so let's think. I guess I could just go ahead and let's see what time it is. How long has the stream been going? Oh, can't even tell. Let's see. Streaming for an hour and 11 minutes. Not bad. That's pretty good. Usually I like to go for like a minimum of an hour and a half, so that gives us a little bit of time. I know it's probably for my East Coast friends, which I'm East Coast. This is probably around dinner time for most people. I will need to cut this off to have dinner sometime soon, but I did have a late lunch, so I think we'll tackle another problem. So we've got a couple other things to fix on this level before we start decorating it. You can see we have messed up textures here. I forgot to texture all the bottom of these pathways, and then we have some tiling issues up here. So I think we'll go ahead and jump into Blender, and we'll just fix this level so that it's completely finished. And then the next order of business would be to continue taking these sand meshes. So like over here, you can see we have, like, for instance, like it'll do something like this. And you can see like there's no lighting on this right now until we rebake our lighting, which is going to take too long and it will destroy the stream. So you're going to have to suffer through some hideous looking sand out of place, out of color when we drag it around. But you can see once we bake the lighting, it will blend in with the rest of the level, and then you'll see it'll catch light like this, and the bump map will light up so you guys can see the 3D effect on the sand, and it will blend in just fine. So we need to drag out some sand and create that. We also need to create a new sky for this level. Obviously, we're not going to be using the original OG. This is my original OG hand-drawn maze hills, inspired by Mario, for the first maze game. That's obviously going to change, and then the lighting. We need to add a sun and stuff, so there's a couple things there. Let's go pull Blender up. Let's save this. We got that knocked out literally so fast. It was pretty amazing. So this one's called the Light Maze. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and fix some of these issues. Let me get a drink of water, guys. I realize I've been talking for an hour and 11 minutes, and I'm not really sure that I've taken too many swigs of water. Alrighty, let's see. I have some. All right, let's go. Okay. Okie All right, so we got some issues here, and these are like so quick fixes. We'll probably be done with this in, I don't know, 2 minutes. All right, looks good. You see that, guys? Welcome to Game Dev Mastery 101. You're welcome. The path completely lines up. It should line up with the bricks. Yep. So it looks like it tiles correctly. Boom, boom. Easy peasy. Let's fix these. See, I got some comments coming in. Let me just check those. Press the wrong button there. All right, that one's fixed. Probably have to fix these so they go the right direction. Let's see what this turns out. Oh, no, it does it right. However, see, this is... All right, so it tiles that direction and not this direction, which means we're off tiling somewhere there. But it doesn't matter. It looks fine. No one's ever going to see that, really. Playtune says, there is apparently a neon McDonald's restaurant in the world, and it reminded me of the neon maze level in the Wii U maze game Good Times. Nice. You were around, weren't you? Did you catch any of the streams for the let's see, make sure I didn't miss something. Oh. Sorry, I was checking something on my phone. Did you see there is a neon level. The neon level from the original maze has made a new comeback in Maze Rising Trials. You know what? Let me just show you guys that real fast, dude. You'll really appreciate this. I'm gonna pull this up since you're in the stream. Let's see. Rising Trial. Where is that? Here we go. Let's get this opened up. Because not only is there a new, if you caught the streams when I was doing the Rising Trial streams, there's that new neon level with the floating platforms where once you come close, they slam down. Did you see that one? Yes or no? Because if you haven't seen that one, and I know you like the other maze games, you'll be mind blown. You'll really like that one. I'm pretty sure. But I also made a new neon level based on the original neon texture set for the original maze, and maze actually I think that was new maybe in the Maze Pedestal of Trials, but that texture set has returned in Maze Rising Trials, and so I actually have a new I don't know what you call it, a hook, a new feature for that maze. Not only is it neon and it lights up kind of like you were talking about, but when you step into each hallway, instead of just the lights turning on, the halls actually rotate, like all of the halls. And I haven't shown this off. I was going to show this off in a new trailer, but I mean, I'm so bad at like posting on social media because I just don't really like being on there. Um, I haven't shown it off on like Twitter or Discord or anything like that. But since I've got the stream rolling and you guys are checking it out, I will show you. It's at a minute and a half now for loading the project. It's taking a little bit. 1 second. Alrighty, so we're loading up here. Oh, perfect. It was already on this level. Let me drag this over just real fast. So I'm pretty sure that this is the maze theme that you're talking about. So this is Maze Rising Trials. And this basically in Maze Pedestal of Trials, you can see how we've got these glowing neon. We've got this blur, this bloom here. Basically, what would happen is you would walk into a hallway, and then the hallway lights would light up in the original Maze Pedestal of Trials. Which, guys, if you haven't played the game, it's available right now on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. It's only $2.99 self promo. But you would walk into these hallways and they would light up the sides. But now for this version, for the texture set, and look how cool this is. By the way, you can see that we've got reflections and we got the real-time reflections going here. And when you turn and look at your camera, you can see like the lights like glowing down the the sides of the walls and stuff. To note for AZ Mist's question from earlier, if he's still watching, like for instance, like this, I hand drew this texture, for all of these for this level and stuff. So this was just hand drawn art. But anyways, so now when you go down these hallways, check this out. It actually rotates and breaks apart. So every wall breaks apart. So now you know that you've been down a hallway by when you go into a hallway, you see like, whoa, the entire wall is changed. And like, so let's go down this one. And now you can see like all the walls rotate. And then now you can see the lights are changed. So every other one rotates basically. Yeah, really cool. I think a crazy effect, and it's basically for all the hallways. And each hallway is broken up into a new one. So yeah, once you come out to this one, it just goes like the whole hallway like rotates out like you're in some giant, I don't know, robotic chamber or something. It makes the level feel a little bit more menacing almost because like the hallways get tight. So you know that you've set the locks into motion basically. So you really know where you've been. In this one, it's like a real easy visual clue to figure out, oh, I've already checked that hallway or not, so you don't get lost. And then when you look up, you can see it's kind of like saws now for the lights. So pretty cool. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. That's for Maze Rising Trials. A little tidbit sneak peek there for you guys, for the stream viewers. So let's go back to the regular dev programming. It's regular scheduling programming. And let's finish these textures up. I would just, pop up the new pitter pot and show you guys that because I think you would be really mind blown. But there is multiple levels of secrecy behind that project. And we're probably going to be doing that as like the final thing at the next TreeFall Studios dev conference video type thing. So yeah, because we've got Maze coming out, and then I've got another word search game coming out. These two games will come out, so we'll probably, I mean, it's a little bit of spoilers if you guys want secrets. But I've already announced this stuff, so obviously you should expect it. So this you'll get a full trailer for this game, a full trailer for the new word search and the new features for that game. You'll get one surprise look, and then the final surprise reveal of the Pitter Pot trailer, and then that'll be the conference this year, pretty much, at least for the beginning of the year. And then Yeah, see, here's finally one that we need to fix. We need to highlight both of these and rotate it by 90 so it's going the same direction as the bricks, just so it looks all right. Um, and then that's probably it for the conference. If I can pick up any publishing clients, might give them a shout out in the conference, do a little marketing for them. I did announce on the Discord some guys were. Why can't I rotate this? Rotate by 90. There we go. Some guys in the Discord that are working on games were kind of mentioning they were interested in some publishing on PlayStation. I need to change this back to that. I think that'll be helpful. So I think I'm gonna take a little time and open up the doors to a couple publishing clients, and maybe see if some of these guys are serious about getting a game on PlayStation, and then get them in the conference. But besides that, that's probably going to be it. All right, we fixed all of those. Was there another texture issue? Oh, yeah. We need to fix this. All right, so we have an issue here in this one tiles. Okay, so it's just these two. So if we do these by 90, that's not it. 90 again. All right, now that matches both sides here. And yeah, the automatic unwrap didn't figure out where these needed to go. Oh, we got one more turn. Now it matches there and there. All right, I think all the textures are complete here. And I think that's looking pretty good. So that fixes us up on that. And we finished our start and finish signs on stream. And showed you guys a couple of sneak peeks at some Maze Rising Trials development hinted off at the conference. So I'm thinking that's a pretty good stream so far. Hour and 24 minutes. Is there anything we can do in the next 6 to 10 minutes? Let's see. Well, let me think of another game development task that we need to do in order to let you guys see something cool. That was kind of what I had planned. Let's see. Playtune says that's actually a pretty cool maze. I can't wait to play it when it comes. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get both games out this year because, well, first off, I was really trying to get this game out in March. But to do that, I basically got to wrap development on this game like in the next like 2 weeks. And I don't know how it's gonna come together fast because I have 2 level designs completely already done. I just need to do the 3rd level design, the title screen, the intro story, and then like basically polish off the graphics and make sure that the art looks good. You know, do new skies and fix the lighting and fix the sand. Let's just start placing some sand around. That's what we were gonna do. We got some sand models. I have 2 variants so far. Let's make a 3rd variant actually, to make this a little even easier to break it up because we want to have some variant models here. And then also, you can't even really tell too much. They all look different because depending on how high you drag them up and down and then, give them a little bit of a rotate, for instance, scale them different, and then when they hit different walls, you wouldn't even be able to tell that all these piles are the same model. They actually, because they all look different in the level. Like this one looks like a little bitty pile, and this double pile. This one looks like one big pile. For instance, like over here, this looks like a bunch of different piles of sand in different ways. But this is all there's 2 different meshes basically. I think I'm gonna make a 3rd one just for variation, but I think we can go ahead and place a couple more of these around and get them looking a little different. So like if we go here in the corner like this and rotate it just a little bit, like that looks completely different already. It doesn't even look like the same. You see it's just hiding in the walls. No one will see that because when we do the game it's not going to render. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, this totally just changes the whole graphics of the level, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think that I can get this one done. I started rambling because you said you wanted to play both of the mazes. I think that I can get this game out and finished in the next couple of weeks probably because with the amount of work I'm going to be doing behind the scenes, it should be coming together pretty quickly. I just got to get the graphics to where I like them, and we're looking more professional, like a more professional project, better looking than the previous games. And like I said, ignore the lighting. There is no lighting on it yet. It's when we bake the lighting later, it is going to look even better. So, and then what we can do is let's like take a couple of these piles, do like this. Let's go ahead and shrink it up so it's like on a different scale. Let's put it in some. Let's mix it together with this one. Now we got like sand on sand. And like, see, like that sand looks completely different, guys, than this sand over here. And it's all the same model, all the same texture. And basically that's going to help us render batch them all together. And it's not going to be doing too much on the system. And we're going to be running at a smooth 60 FPS. And soon I'm going to start doing some PlayStation 5 games like in 4K, like native 4K probably, because my games should be able to run that easy instead of upscaled. Yeah, looks good. The paths are looking good. Here we go. Because basically, I like this sand texture, but when you zoom far out, it's too easy to see the tile. So the thinking of like breaking up the paths with these sand blobs is it kind of breaks up the the tile over and over, so it doesn't actually look like it's tiling everywhere. Then I think what I'll do is I'll make like a pot model or something, like maybe some broken, ceramic pots or something that I'll drag around in the corners, stick in the sand, some stuff like that, so you guys can see the level will be a little bit more filled in when it's all said and done. Um, yeah, something like that, like a giant pile of sand for this corner. And then this is going to have the puzzle in it, so the puzzle hint's probably going to be in the sand right here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's basically what we're going to do. And then for this big courtyard, I'll probably be able to put the pots around and things like that, and it'll make sense sitting on the ceramic tiles. And then what we'll do is we need to move the coins all around and place them where they need to go. Like, there's probably going to be one right here. This is a dead end path. Sometimes I like to hide coins down dead end paths, but I only like to put them like right in the very beginning of the dead end path. That way you don't actually have to go down it. You can just grab the coin and then leave. And then I like to put coins in completely obvious paths to where like they're kind of showing you the right direction, like a coin right here for instance would be showing you like, oh, there's more past that coin and it looks like that's forward instead of backward or a dead end. There's gonna be a door here, we got to make the door. I'm going to change the lights. You can see we got some lights in here because I want each hallway to have a distinctive light. This one's going to be red and this one's going to be blue, in order so people don't get lost and you can figure out which hallway you just went down. And one of them is going to have a coin and the other one's just going to be a path. But I'm not sure if I'm going to actually build some lamps for that. I'm thinking of just leaving the lighting just like the natural lighting for the hallways being red or blue, and it's just not really explaining the realism to it. I guess the game's not completely realistic, so it doesn't matter. There's gonna be like one coin. I'm gonna put a coin like right over here probably. This will be our coin showing our path forward. It's gonna be hidden under the stairs that you need to go up to go forward. So stuff like that is things that we're gonna be doing. I gotta go through here and clean up. I already started cleaning up. Like for instance, like here's the rotating platform. Here's my code to rotate all those walls. Like, that's not going to be featured in this game, so I don't need the stuff. I need to delete it out so I can see my assets more clearly and figure out what I've got going on. Um, but obviously, I deleted some prefab that was reliant on another, and that's why we've broken our particle system, and it just shoots out straight instead of flying around the coin. So I'm gonna have to fix some things. I got like sand piles. You can see I got sand right here, like on this broken tower. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Once I get all the sand dragged out everywhere, put like a couple pots in here, redo the lighting, it's gonna break up this tiling. I think overall I'll probably want to keep this sand floor, but if I still don't think it looks good, then I might have to change it all. But I'm gonna have to make all those decisions pretty fast. But overall, I think this is already looking pretty good. Let me know in the comments if you think this looks better than the Maze Pedestal Trials game, which is our last one. I'm glad you guys liked the new start and finish sign. That was pretty cool. Glad to get that done on stream today. I need to go ahead and wrap up this stream. I know we got a lot of viewers watching right now. So let me just do some outro talk and thank the Patreon subscribers. Tell you guys what we're going to be up to soon so you guys can see where to find me more if you are interested. I haven't made a YouTube. I've got some YouTube videos in the works, but I haven't made a YouTube video in a little while. And a couple of the like game industry topic videos that I was going to be working on for you guys, those the topics themselves, the game industry news has been changing so fast that I really am already behind on some of them, to where like my video scripts and ideas on certain things are already outdated. Like Microsoft is one of them, for instance. I was going to be talking about why people don't make games for Xbox, and now I think it's even more obvious because they're basically not even making their own games, they're just porting games. But I have some YouTube videos in the works like that. I might still put that one out. I've got some other game dev topic videos, but I'm mostly going to be making just some TreeFall content coming up soon, some devlogs for this to really talk about this, some devlogs show off the new word search. Got a new surprise, the Pitterpot thing that I've been mentioning. That's going to be very in-depth devlogs throughout the summer, probably. So that's kind of like the game plan. So if you guys are new to the channel, if you're fans of indie games, you've hit the right place. All I do is make, you know, new and unique indie games for PlayStation, specifically PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Some of my games are on Steam. If you guys are new and you want to check out some of our games, the link should be down below. There's like one Xbox link, there's maybe a Steam franchise link, and then, you know, the PlayStation links. But basically everything that we've ever made is on PlayStation, and then there's like half of our library to a third of the library is on Steam, and we have one game on Xbox. I actually think that our game is no longer available in Europe on Xbox. I got it pulled from those markets because I didn't Xbox changed some regulations. I think it's that might be NDA, but then I was just fine with it and just took it off the market. So it might only be available in the American regions. I'm not totally sure. I'm pretty much done with Xbox completely, so take that with what you will. If you want to check out some of our games, you can find them on PlayStation or on Steam. If you want to hang out with me or, you know, chat in the future, you can join our Discord. Links are down below. You can also follow us on Twitter. Still use that some, X, whatever you want to call it, I guess. And then you can subscribe on YouTube. Obviously, we're here streaming on YouTube. So I got some more videos coming. If you guys are interested, I will do some more streams. This stream was rather successful. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Got some fun stuff done. We also have a Patreon page if you want to support the studio financially. You don't have to, obviously. The tiers are like $1, $2, $1, $3, and $5. But you do get shout outs in YouTube videos. So the names of the Patreon subscribers, there they go. It should have been running the whole time, like on the stream. I got to give a personal shout out before I end the stream. I'm going to go ahead and do it for streams. I usually just do it in the videos, but I got to give a huge personal shout out to Sharkamino, PLP, Spaceman Aim, and Thomas Stewart. Yeah, the first four right there, those are the personal shout outs. Those are the OGs, the top tier tree supporters. So if you give the top tier on Patreon every video and stream, you get personal shout outs. Your names are on the videos. You guys also get your names in the credits of my game. So thousands of players on PlayStation will get to see your names in the credits when they beat the game. That kind of thing. Quick advertisement, in the top corner here, my most recent game, Tilting Tiles Fires of Industry, is on PlayStation. It's like $3 or $4. That came out like last October. That's our most recent game. So you can check that out if you want to. But yeah, thanks for joining into the stream. It was pretty chill. Glad to be back. Had fun. Without further ado, I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll catch you later. See you guys.